So now you have to ask yourself a simple question. Would you rather spend all this money in getting trained? Or would you rather just spend something like this? Hey there, and welcome to another episode of The Second Chance to Freedom. My name is Jonathan, and I'm the founder of Driving Academy, and we created this show to help you out and educate you on different pathways on how you can get free, right? So it's all about re-educating yourself, getting trained with a new skill, so then you can actually start a new career and make more money than what you're making right now. On today's episode, we are going to be comparing getting a CDL license with us at Driving Academy, wink wink, or becoming a certified welder and going through a welding school program. Alright, so today we're going to be comparing a few different things. We're going to compare the cost of each training program. We're going to be comparing how long it takes you to get to the training. We're also going to be comparing how the training is, what is the content of the school itself, and we're also going to compare what it looks like on the job market once you fully are trained. And lastly, we're going to talk about the most important part, ROI, return on your investment. We're going to see what is the best return on your investment. Should you get a CDL license, or should you become a welder and go through a welding training program? So you definitely want to watch this full video. It's going to be something that you're going to be astounded with, and you're going to learn a whole bunch of things. So if you're thinking about becoming a welder, or if you're thinking about getting a CDL license, this might be the video for you. Stay tuned. So let's get right into it. I am kind of hot over here, but I'm trying to think about where to spend this money. So I need to get trained. Am I going to spend it getting a CDL license, or am I going to spend it going to welding school and becoming a certified welder? Now I got to figure out how much it costs. So we've already done our research for you. If you want to become a welder, an average training program here is going to cost you around $19,500 to be fully certified as a welder. Now if you want to come to Driving Academy to become a CDL driver, our most expensive course here is $8,000, which is half the price of becoming a welder. And that's our most expensive course. An average one of our students will spend about $4,000 just to get their CDL license with us. But we do have courses that go as low as $1,000 if you have some experience already built in. Alright? So now you have to ask yourself a simple question. Would you rather spend all this money in getting trained? Or would you rather just spend something like this? Now you might be asking yourself, well, $19,000 is a lot of money, but maybe, John, it's going to pay me a whole lot more in the future. Well, I guess we're going to have to wait to the end of the video to actually figure it out if it's a good return on your investment. If you can spend $19,000 and make more money, maybe it's a good idea for you. Or if you can spend $4,000 and make the same or more money than what you can with spending the $19,000, I think the $4,000 is a better deal any day of the week. What do you think? Let's wait to the end of the video when we're going to plan it all out for you. Oh, sorry. I was just thinking about how long is this training going to take me, right? So we already talked about the cost, and we already know that a welding program is going to cost a whole lot more than a CDL program, all right? So now, how long is it actually going to take me to go through the program itself? So when we did our research, an average welding course will take you about 7 months to complete, all right? Now compare that to a CDL training course. CDL training course, if you want to do it full-time, you're in and out in about a 4-week time period, all right? Let's talk about the actual time itself. Are you flexible? So if you want to do the welding course full-time, and full-time to them means you're there from 7 o'clock in the morning to 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday through Thursday, all right, for 7.5 straight months. Now I don't know about you, but a lot can happen in 7.5 months, right? You want a job much sooner than 7.5 months so you can start paying back that $19,000 that you invested into the training program, don't you? Compare that to your CDL, which is a 4-month time period if you want to do it full-time. Now if you want to do that one full-time, it's 8 to 4:30 Monday through Friday. However, the biggest difference here is on the welding side over here, you are stuck, which means you're locked in place with these handcuffs that I have on right now, and you can only come in at that time. Here at Driving Academy, we're unique. We're open up 7 days a week, which means you can keep your full-time job, keep making the money that you're making right now, and we can customize your training schedule around your needs. So you can break from those handcuffs and actually get rocking and rolling. We're gonna see how good the editing team here is to see how good those handcuffs really came out. So would you rather be locked for 7.5 months of training full time, or would you rather be flexible with the time period of as little as 1 month to as much as a maximum of 3 to 4 months, depending on how much you spread it out and how much you come in on a part-time basis? So here at Driving Academy, you can come in 1 day a week, or you can come in 7 days a week. We'll let you pick the schedule. So which one would you rather pick? I think as of right now, the Driving Academy is winning, because getting a CDL license, don't you already want to be flexible? Don't you have a career already? And who the hell knows where you're going to be in 7.5 months from now? Think about it. Which one do you pick so far? Oh, sorry, I was just checking out this classroom, because this boring classroom is what you're going to look at if you want to become a welder. Because when it comes to welding, we're going to be talking about content, what actually happens when you're in school. So in welding profession, you're actually going to be spending half the time in a classroom setting, half the time in a lab setting. So if you're in a classroom, you're going to be in a group setting kind of like this. It is kind of boring if you guys remember school. You're going to have to go through the book, follow the course as it was designed, no real spices, nothing like that. And the worst part is it is a group setting, which means you can't go at your own pace. So maybe you're somebody who works faster than the average person and you don't want to kind of get pulled back. Or maybe you're somebody who needs some extra time and you can't go as fast as everybody else. Well, either way, in this group setting, you kind of got to work together as a group. So this is pretty much what you're looking at. And I guess it is going to be pretty cool when you are in the lab portion of the class. And that's where you actually get to be hands-on with the welding and you start to work on your skills. But again, it is going to be in a group setting. Let's go check out what a training guard looks like at Driving Academy to see what your training would look like if you wanted to get a CDL license. Follow me. Woo! See, that's what I'm talking about. There's some trucks behind me. You're not stuck in a classroom all the time. And the biggest thing here is individualized training. So here at Driving Academy, you are going to get a whole lot of hands-on experience. There is a little bit of classroom time in the beginning because we do have to get you ready to pass a few written tests to get yourself a CDL permit. But after that, you're smooth sailing. You're actually having some fun. You're getting inside the trucks. You're getting trained by instructors. It's all individualized training. There is no group training, which means that you get to go at your own pace. Which means if you're somebody who progresses really quickly, then we get to keep moving you forward. If you're somebody who is nice and slow and needs a little bit more time and attention from our instructors, we can definitely help you out with that as well. So it depends on which type you like better. If you're with some people, I'm sure they like group training, they like that group atmosphere. So maybe welding is a good category for you here in the content. Or maybe you're somebody who kind of likes to be individualized, you want some individual attention and you want to kind of go at your own pace, then CDL in our case is going to be much better for you too. So far we talked about how much it costs, what the timing is, and what the training is going to look like. Now, are there really jobs in these markets? Let's figure that out. So now we're talking about jobs. So I got this paper over here that I printed out from Indeed, and I'm going through the different jobs on both the CDL side and on the welding side. Let's go over the welding jobs first. So as I looked through Indeed, the cool thing is that there is a job growth here, right? So it is a small growth, it's a little bit higher than average, but it is a growth, so that's a positive, right, for welding. So we're not always talking about bad about welding. However, the one thing that did look astounding to me is that most jobs only are going to hire you with 1 to 3 years experience, which most likely means that you're going to have to go through an apprenticeship program. Now I was thinking about why that is. Well, the more I read about it is this job is pretty risky. So what are risks of this job? So you're going to actually be a very high prone to burning yourself, right? You're going to have debris flying in a lot of different directions. You're going to be exposed to a whole bunch of harmful fumes all day long for hours at a time. And then you also have, and which was a crazy thing, you're going to be exposed to radiation, especially to your eyes. And that's something that's crazy to me because I want to stay away from radiation at all possible. You already know how crazy cancer is. So when I'm looking at those kind of job risks, which is a pretty risky job, it makes sense. Now, that's why they're going to require you that you have some experience before you get started in the actual job itself. Now, if you think about it, you just went through a 7.5 month training program with a professional school. After you invested 7.5 months in $19,000 training and getting your skill together, you still have to invest more time in becoming an apprentice. Now, some apprentice gets paid peanuts, Others apprentices don't even get paid at all. So think about it. Is that really a good investment for you? So now when I looked again on Indeed and I was looking for CDL jobs, I was actually very surprised. Well, not really, because I know the CDL field, because that's what I do, right? Because I'm the founder of Driving Academy and we help people every day find jobs. But that's neither here nor there. If you don't believe me, check Indeed. There's a whole bunch of drivers needed, right? In the country right now, there's about a 300,000 driver shortage. That's a whole bunch of seats that need to be filled with your butt. That's right, I'm talking about your butt on camera, all right? So that being said, well, let's talk about, is that real or not? Now, there are some jobs on here that do require experience, just like anything else. However, us at Driving Academy, we help many of our students, all of our students actually, find jobs even though they're coming right out of school and they have no experience. Because of this extreme driver shortage, companies are now lowering their hiring requirements just so and then they can actually have drivers drive the vehicles for them, right? Because if they keep their hiring requirements extremely high with that experience that's needed, then the trucks don't move. Trucks don't move, they don't make any money, and you don't make any money. And that's not what we like to see. So when it comes to actual having jobs, one, the CDL is a lot less risky, so you're not worrying about radiation. You are driving, so there is some risk there, right? So you're traveling on the highways of America, and that's not always the safest thing to do. But I'd rather be doing that than getting burned every day and taking in some radiation for my job and taking in fumes all day long. So, job availability and the kind of jobs out there, the CDL is also going to be something that's going to win in my book itself, right? Because when it comes to a welding job, a lot of welders, they actually have to move from location to location. They're working on a big job at one time, and then the job finishes and now they got to move to a different part of the country. When it comes to CDL, this is steady all year round, and there's different varieties, right? So you can be a bus driver, or you can be a local driver, which means you're staying local, you're getting paid by the hour, you're home every single day. You can have a good lifestyle. You can be a regional driver. That means you're out for a few days at a time, and then you're coming in, and you're also getting paid by the mile. You are going to get paid a little bit more doing regional. Or if you want to travel the country, you can go and travel the country and become an over-the-road driver. This is where you're going to get paid the most because you're driving the most. All right, so there's a few different options there. On the welding side, you really only stick to that one thing. Now, of course, you can be an undersea welder that takes more skill and that also pays more. You can be a welder that's up 500 feet in the air and putting buildings together. But again, more skill equals more risk. Over here, it's the same kind of skill. It just depends on how much you want to drive and where you want to go. So you get to decide, you want to live that risky life that's going to take you even more time to land that job that you want, or do you want a job right after school that's going to pay you well and you have very little risk and you're good forever. This is also something that no matter where you go in the country, you can find a job for like that. So in my opinion, and I hope in yours too, CDL wins this category of job placement. Alright, the moment you've all been waiting for. Drum roll please. ROI. What does that stand for? Return on investment. In simple terms, if I'm going to give you or invest $1, how much money am I going to get back? The better the ROI, that means that if I give you $1, you're going to give me as much money possible back, and that should be your goal with no matter what you invest in. Now don't forget, this is an investment. You're investing into yourself, and that's the best investment that you can make no matter what. It's better than real estate, better than stocks, better than bonds, because once you invest into yourself, you're going to be getting a skill that's going to help you earn more money, and it's also something that nobody can take no matter what the economy does, right? So let's talk about welding. You've now invested $19,500 into your welding course. How long is that going to take you? You've also invested 7.5 months of training to get that certification. Now it's time to find a job. You finally realize that nobody's going to hire you unless you have at least 1 year experience. So let's kind of cheat the system a little bit. Let's say, okay, you find an apprenticeship program after your 7.5 months of training for another 3.5 months. That's going to bring your whole school training plus the apprenticeship for about a year, right? In most cases, apprenticeships might not pay you. If they do pay you, they're going to pay you something small. But just keep the math simple. Year number one, at the end of year number one, you've invested $19,500 and you went through a whole year of training to perfect your craft, and now you have no income coming in, okay? So right now, after year number one for welding, you're at a negative $19,500. So now let's take the same scenario for CDL training. a CDL training program here that we're going to guarantee that we get your license, right? And that's the other thing that we didn't talk about. You can spend $19,500 and fail the class and then have to do the whole thing all over again. If you invest $4,000 here at Driving Academy, we're going to guarantee that we get you a license. And how we guarantee it is we're going to give you all the training that you need, plus we're going to give you unlimited tries at the test, which means if you fail, you're going to keep it going until you pass. So that means you actually have a guarantee of walking away with the credential that you actually invested in. But that's neither here nor there. That being said, you've invested $4,000. You've also invested 1 month of your time because you came on a full-time basis. That's 4 weeks. After the training, week number 5, you went for your road test and you passed. Now, how quickly can you go for a job? You can go for a job as early as the next week. That's usually our turnaround time. So if you get your license today, usually it takes us a week, maximum 2 weeks to help you find a job so you can start making some money. So it's a much quicker turnaround time, which means at the end of the year, you're already now having income coming in. Now, how much income? An average one of our drivers will start off making around $50,000 a year. All right. So say it took you the first month to actually get the training and get your license done, and now for the rest of the year, you have a job making $50,000 a year. So you're going to do the math. You're going to invest $4,000. You're going to make $50,000. Now you're going to be positive on the end of year number 1 already. So your return on investment at the end of year number 1 is a lot higher on the CDL side than it is on the welding side. Now the welding side, you're still negative, right? On the CDL side, you're positive by a lot. And there's a much quicker turnaround time. So what's going to happen in year number 2? All right, so now let's talk about year number 2. So as a recap, at the CDL side, at the end of year 1, we're starting off with $46,000 in positive return on investment. On the welding side, we're starting off with a negative $19,500 because you didn't make any money that first year. Plus we cheated and we said that you got 3 months of apprenticeship experience plus your training, which came out to 1 year experience. So now we're going to say that you do have 1 year experience, and now it's time for you to find a job. So on the welding side, say that you find a job making $50,000 a year, which is the same kind of salary that you made with a truck driver. Now in reality, it's not as easy as it sounds to make it $50,000 a year with just 1 year experience welding. Usually you're going to start off in the $30,000 range, $25,000 range. We've even seen with our research that we've done. But just to keep the math simple, we're going to say, okay, you made $50,000 for your first real job becoming a welder. That's if you found a job at all. So that being said, at the end of year number 2, now you have a positive return on investment. And if you subtract the $19,500 and you take into account that you just gained $50,000 for that year, now your return on investment is a positive $30,500. So now we're in the green, which is great, right? Now let's take the CDL side. Now you have 1 year experience under your belt. Now you're a much more valuable driver, so you're going to make more money because now more people want you because you have some experience. You've proven yourself. Everything's nice and clean because you did what we taught you to do. But we're going to be conservative. Most of our drivers, after 1 year, they start off making $70,000 to $80,000. We're going to say you just got a $10,000 increase on your pay, which means now you're making $60,000 a year. All right. So now you're already at $46,000. You're going to add 60 to that. Now that means you're going to be at $106,000 ROI at the end of year number 2. So if you look at these two numbers here, which one's bigger? Oh, it's leaning heavier on this side, which means the CDL is winning so far. All right. So that's after year number 2. Maybe things are going to change in year 3. We already know what we're starting off with at the beginning of year number 3, as you can see here by these numbers. So let's go over to welding. So say you're a fantastic welder and then you got a $10,000 raise because now you have a year experience under your belt. So now you're going to make $60,000 for that year. Now remember, we started off at this, which is a $30,500 plus a 60. What does that get you? That brings you to a total return on investment of $90,500. All right, so that's pretty good. But now let's go over to the CDL side. So CDL side, you start off at 106 at the beginning of year 3. Now you also got a $10,000 raise, and now you're making $70,000 that year. So when you take into account 106 plus 70, that's going to bring you with this big number at the bottom here, which is 176. It's so big I can't even hold it. myself, all right? So that being said, you're gonna, after 3 years, would you rather have $176,000 return on investment or $90,500 return on investment? Now that's something that you have to pick for yourself. But in my eyes, numbers never lie, and as you can see by these numbers right here, these numbers aren't lying. CDL is gonna be winning every single time. So, let's take the takeaways away. 1, CDL is cheaper. 2, CDL is quicker. 3, CDL is more hands-on, more individualized, which means you can go at your own pace. 4, there's a whole lot more jobs available and it's a lot less risky on the CDL side. And 5, when it comes to the R, O, and the I, you make a whole lot more money getting a CDL license. So if you're a logical person, because I know that you are because you watched this whole video and we hope that we entertained you a little bit with this video, I hope that you now know the numbers never lie and the CDL here is a clear winner. So if you're looking to get a CDL license, I know of a school that can help you out. Wink, Driving Academy is the name of the school. Currently we're located in Linden, New Jersey, and we're here to help 1 million people just like you get on the road to freedom. Because we know that it is the cheapest way to get trained. It's also the one way where you're going to pretty much be guaranteed a job because of the high need, and you're going to make a whole lot of money doing it. So if you're ready to change your life and you want to change your careers and get trained on something, get a CDL. If you don't think that is for you, or if you have some questions, you want to give our office a call. We're located in Linden, New Jersey, like I said. We have plans of expanding nationwide, and our phone number is 908-525-3609. You can also check out our website. All the links are going to be in the description below. And again, if you have one thought of maybe, hey, this is what I want to do, maybe you're tired of your current job, maybe you're starting your career from scratch, we can help you out either way. So give us a call today, 908-525-3609. We're located in Linden, New Jersey. One of our staff members will be happy to help you out. And like I always say, Driving Academy will help you get on your road to freedom. Give us a call today. Thank you very much.